请在1小时内到胶囊登记。很荣幸今年为您服务，期待2045年与您再会。
Atención a todos los ciudadanos impares, por favor de reportarse en la cápsula en 1 hora. Agradecidos de estar a su servicio durante este año. Nos vemos en el 2045.
Attention, all odd citizens.
Good odd day.
Please check in at the capsule.
Good odd day.
In 1 hour. Glad to be at your service this year.
A+ for the originality of this story. The creativity of this was so well done. Not only is it original, but then there was the twist. So very, very well done. I love the colors. This is just such a vibrant, unique look to it. Loved it a lot. Loved the technology of it. All of it technically was really well done. I love that this is like the solution to overpopulation, a really cool idea about hibernating. This toxic relationship was just kind of hard to watch, but in a good way. I think you guys really did do a really great job with your casting and your actors. They did a great job performing this. Toxic relationship, controlling, kind of stalkerish guy. I love the attention to details just in the writing. And just, I didn't really have any questions that were left hanging.
I think the graphics and the explanation at the very beginning, how the filmmakers created this future, was so smart because it let the viewer know what to expect, what we were going to see, and kind of what the film was about. So we didn't have to play catch up, which was awesome. I loved the way that the filmmakers did their set dressing. I think they were incredibly smart about that. I loved how they added a lot of the graphics to the doors where the odd numbers and the even numbers were actually in like that hyper sleep. I loved what they did with the posters, how they had the changing pictures in the frames in the waiting room. I think that was very clever. And I think the story was great. I loved what they did with the story. The actors were all really, really well done.
This is a form of population control that the odds are able to participate in society while the evens hibernate for a year, and then it switches every single year. But as much as the premise of this film was very interesting, I thought the acting and the drama infused into this very interesting setting was really what stood out. There was a conflict, a relational conflict between the two main characters who are in a romantic relationship together. While breaking up, the woman decides to leave Andre, her unhealthy partner, and decides to switch to be an even number. I also wanted to highlight the costumes and the hair and makeup in this short film. The bright colors of the costumes matched the really bright and plush and fuzzy set decoration that we noticed. It feels very bubbly and safe, even though this sci-fi world that we're living in is very unusual. There was also symbolism with the female character being born on Valentine's Day, and she was always dressed in pink and hearts. I thought that was a really sweet character, kind of ode to her character, that you got to know her a little bit better even in a short amount of time.
And this one, they try to blend it together and make it into a unique narrative. The performances are pretty impressive, and we got to understand like how the odd and the even like should be matched, because like it's probably the way like it did like in the universe. So this short is kind of like amplified that kind of message and help us to understand like if we're matched, it's going to be a long-term match, but if we're not, there's going to be a way to show us that it will never work in a relationship. It's fun, it's entertaining, while it still maintains the scientific approach into this story.
I think it's really beautifully done visually. It captures this futuristic world in a way that feels real and like we're looking at somewhere else. At the same time, it makes the conflict between the characters very real. And I think it does a really great job of combining both and exploring the relationship that is present in our world today in a futuristic, different technology based world.
I really like the fact that here we get like this kind of a glimpse of what the world could be if only half of the population was alive. In this case, the people are chosen by numbers, odds and evens. Indeed, I think it was very, very well done. Absolutely brilliant cinematography and great usage of colors. And at the same time, what I really liked as well was the performances of the actors and the direction. I think the premise, the idea, it was